I've just been doing a little plumbing job, nothing too exciting. It's a little bit fiddly in here, so it was a little bit awkward to have the camera to show you me doing it. But basically this is something I did quite some time ago when I put a feed out into the outhouse so I could have water supply out there for my washing machine. What I originally did, being it's all a bit tight in here, just to make life a little bit easier for myself in this corner, there was a little, just a couple of inches of pipe sticking up here, and what I originally had set up, just to save me trouble of cutting all the pipes, making it a bit fiddly for myself, all I did was attach a flexi pipe on there and down into that bottom corner, which is all fine and dandy for the washing machine, and a reasonable amount of pressure on the garden hose. But when I've been washing my car and that, when it comes to rinsing the car off, I thought it would be nice to just have that a little bit more pressure in there, like for kind of jet washing the alloys off and stuff. So the downside to these flexi pipes, even though it'll be described as a 15mm flexi pipe, as you can see the hole in the centre, I believe is actually only 6mm. So obviously quite a bit less than 15. So it was okay for the garden hose, but I just thought, wonder how much of a difference it would be if I took the flexi pipe out and actually put 15mm pipe in there. So I've just completed the job. So it's just been a case of a little bit of pipe cutting, 3 elbow joints and 1 straight joint. So not cost too much to do it, and I had a little bit of pipe left over from when I originally done it, so I thought I'll do it, just see how big a difference it makes. So I've just finished. So moment of truth, let's turn the stopcock back on, see if we have any more leaks out of any of these joints. Hopefully not. Normally quite good compression fittings. Take your time, make sure you do them up reasonably tight, don't go crazy and over tighten them. Right, all looking good so far. No sign of any water. And in the past when I've used these things, I've never actually bothered. You see I've got a little bit of jointing compound in them. And I've used these numerous occasions without jointing compound and I've never actually leaked. But I thought for what it costs, and just that little bit of extra safety, I thought I'll go and get some. So this can with just over £6, about £6 8p or something like that, which quite big for the amount you have to put on a joint. So like for the DIY plumber like me, I'll probably have this bloody 10-15 years down the line. I probably won't have used this can up. So for £6, it just makes it that little bit more secure and less likely to leak by just putting a little bit of that round, and all you do is just spread it sort of around the olive area and sort of the outer edge of it as well. So that's all definitely looking good. No sign whatsoever of any leaks there. So say for £6, might as well get it and just be that little bit safer, especially if you're doing pipe work that's kind of tucked away. And also bought myself a new pipe slice. That was about £8 as well. That works really well. Half a dozen turns and you cut through the pipe, so worth having. So happy with that. I shall now go out and wash the car and find out just how much of a difference that does make, taking that little flexi out of the equation. I'll let you know how much of a difference it makes and whether I feel it was worthwhile doing it, just in case anybody got the same situation. I shall report back shortly. Alright guys, just been out and gave the car a wash and tested out the hose pipe. Okay, we're not talking a mind-blowing difference, but definitely an increase in the overall kind of water volume coming out of the hose. So I'd say worthwhile doing. I don't think the pressure in my house is actually as high as it probably should be, actually, because you can turn my kitchen taps on and that, and you don't get that where you get sprayed all over the place when you turn it on. So for the pressure that's in the house, it definitely made a difference, and I'm happier knowing we've got new pipe work in here rather than them flexi hoses. I've been out a long time, but I've had one fail at work, so one of them, because it is actually only made of rubber inside, so I'm not quite sure what the general lifespan of them is compared to copper pipe. It's not going to be anywhere near as long as that, I'm sure. So it is one of them things I used to just have a little peek in here every now and again just to make sure it wasn't leaking. So I won't have that on my mind now that I know I've got the pipe working here. So to summarise, yes, it did make a difference. So if you're using a jet wash or something like that, then definitely going to have a greater volume of water to that. So yeah, for the relative small cost, worthwhile. Catch you all later.